Huh, it's Keyblade Master. I should probably revive this guy. Alright, I just have to be very careful with it though. Perfect, that accomplished absolutely nothing. Speaking of nothing, let's talk about Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail, love it or hate it, it's one of Hiro Mashima's biggest series out there, and with the anime coming back to cover the final 2 arcs of the manga, a lot of people are putting out videos on the series again, and this is one of them. A video ranking the strongest characters in Fairy Tail up to the end of the Alvarez Empire arc, done by GokuT23, a Fairy Tail and Dragon Ball themed YouTuber, and oh boy is it bad. Like him not crediting those who made the series, though that is a minor one in comparison to this next bit, not crediting those who made the fan art. And yes, colouring in manga panels counts as fan art since it was filled in by the fans, in either the description or the video itself. Just saying, that's not a good thing, especially since it's really simple and takes about as much time as grabbing the image nowadays thanks to reverse image search. And this lack of credits/links outside of his other accounts in the description will bite a few other points in this video out in the ass later, so how about we stop stalling and get to the video itself after skipping the first 15 seconds of padding.
Now that the Alvarez arc has finally been done when it comes to Fairy Tail and we have a new arc called the 100-Year Quest, I thought this would be a good time to look back and see just how powerful all these characters become. And you know, it's very hard to ask who are the top 10 strongest Fairy Tail character, top 20 strongest Fairy Tail character, because Fairy Tail has over countless of very powerful wizards. It's the reason why I decided to take my time to be as accurate as I can to show you just how strong all these characters are, and every character that's inside the list are the powerfulest character in Fairy. But what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sections, male and female, and when it comes to male, we're going to compare all of them to the strongest character.
Jeez, not even a minute in and this guy is slurring his words at points, cuts off before finishing a sentence like him saying fairy and not fairy tale, and then his grammar.
Powerful.
Really? My word processor is seeing red right now, and it only does that when Russia is mentioned. Basically, take your time when speaking, because the last thing your viewers likely want is to see you tripping over your words or cutting yourself off mid-point. And now that the context has been established for how this list is structured, let's see how it's butchered.
Holy fuck, that guy can carry a huge cabbage.
By the way, don't get used to him showing power levels/graphs for the different transformations, because after he does it for Natsu, he never uses it again, which gets hella confusing when he compares Natsu to characters with multiple transformations, and yet only shows images of their base forms at points.
One thing we learned is that motivation pushes you to become really strong, and Natsu Dragneel has shown us just how powerful he really became. When you come to Aknologia to compare with Natsu, Aknologia at Dragon form is safe to lift him to be right here, but it is stated by Hiro Mishima that Aknologia is a lot more powerful inside his human form compared to Dragon form, so at his human form, Aknologia was actually right here above Natsu too.
Yes, Hiro Mashima said this, you know, with this link, and proof. Oh, and before someone says to go look it up yourself, I did, and I found no interviewer source claiming that, and really, what sense would that make anyways, considering we only see his human form in the final arc, and every other time prior he's in his dragon form kicking a lot of ass. In fact, the closest thing I got to info on Aknologia was this article saying that Hiro wished he could have done more for the character, not that he was stronger in human form. So yeah, if you're gonna make a claim like that, cite your sources, thank you.
But then at the last minute, Natsu's friend is what motivated him, and because Natsu's motivation, he was able to overpower Aknologia, and which made him be above Aknologia from right here.
No, that wasn't even close to what happened. Wendy gave Natsu all the energy of the Dragon Slayers in the dimension they were in. Lucy and the others froze Aknologia, who at this point could exist in 2 different places but still be connected due to eating time magic, thanks to Fairy Sphere, and neither body could move or use his powers to stop Natsu's punch because of the spell. So without the ability to eat magic, which is one of Aknologia's abilities, or the ability to block it, Aknologia was hit with one powerful punch amped up with 7 Dragon Slayer elements. He was destroyed because it hit him directly and he couldn't stop/eat it. Not because of motivation souping him up immensely.
We're talking about the Last Jedi!
We got Lockhart. He is related to Zero's son, and therefore it is safe to put Lockhart, who is really powerful, above Garcnero to be him right here.
Lockhart is Zero's son, eh? Oh really? Because last I checked, August was Zeref's son. But hey, maybe that was a doujinshi I read and not the official manga, so let me double check. Yeah, it is August. In fact, the manga itself states that Lockhart was a demon from Zeref's book. So if you want to argue that it is his son then technically most of the demons from the Tartarus arc are his children, since they come from his books, and well, that's just silly. By the way, as we'll see later, Sting has a lower power than him, and yet Sting beat him in a fight. And remember guys, he wanted to be
as accurate as I can.
Bloody hell.
Then when we have Garcia now, he was actually kind of a disappointment. We thought that he was so strong. He first looked like his power level was right there. He's a 4th generation Dragon Slayer, but then he got slayed with just one hand by Aknologia. Gray Fullbusters has proven more than countless times that he is actually one character you cannot underestimate. He has proven himself to be as powerful right here after the jumpstart from the Alvarez arc.
So Gray is barely strong enough to pass that first by. Is that why he was pretty much even in his fight against Natsu, partially souped up with his E&D powers? By the way, I love the random changes in the graph when he transitions from Gray to the next person. Now he's stronger than God Serena and almost Larcade. Oops. Funny, it looked like you were going from strongest to weakest out of this group of 10 characters, and now it's all over the place. So much for accuracy.
Hey guys, look, it's the worst video game boss ever.
Moving on to the female side of the characters, we know that the strongest female of all time inside Fairy Tail is Urza Scarlet. She is first started off to be right here, and at the end of the Fairy Tail Alvarez arc, Urza Scarlet has ranked herself to be right there. This girl has pushed herself over countless times, and one thing we know is never underestimate Urza Scarlet.
God, the background of this pic is poorly cut out. Oh, and we're gonna put a pin in our strongest female comment when we get to Eileen, so keep that in mind for later.
Next we got, if Ultear was still alive, she is known to be the second strongest character. Right here, her parallel will be right here compared to Urza. All these female characters will be compared to Urza. When you got Lady Eileen, Urza's mother, she is ranked to be right above there. If Ultear was alive, I'll have to put Ultear over her.
And it's later. So let me get this straight. Lady Eileen, who crushed Urza in their fight in both dragon and human forms at points, even breaking Urza's arm in dragon forms, and was only slain in her dragon mode because of Wendy giving Urza a power-up, as well as only losing the fight because she killed herself, is weaker than her daughter in Altair. Yeah, I call bullshit on that part, especially when I stated before, Urza only won that fight against Eileen because Eileen/Irene killed herself and Wendy helped her. Outside of that, Urza was on the ground and couldn't do anything outside of headbutts near the end of the fight. Hell, this isn't even a case of, oh, my favorite character isn't higher on the list. I'm basing this response off of facts and feats shown in the same arc. And the facts are, Urza only won the fight because Eileen killed herself, not because she was stronger.
We got Celia, who is actually another character who gave Mary Jane a hard time, and that's the reason why we've seen that Celia should be deserved to put right here. We got Kyoka, who deserves to be right here and the strongest female inside the Tatris arc of Zerev's creation.
You know what? Screw it. The rest of the entries suffer the same issue of inconsistent power levels, bad logic and other shit, so on to final thoughts. For a video that was meant to be very accurate, it had a lot of issues in terms of powers and consistency with the graph itself, one of the worst being Urza's, the strongest of her characters like Eileen/Irene, and Altair, who are powerful enough to alter time in the area around them, and Irene only losing because she couldn't go through with killing a defenseless Urza, and killed herself, and even some bits that are just wrong, like the Larcade being Zeref's son situation, and Natsu being Arachnologia because of determination, and other power-ups as foes for preventing Arachnologia from moving since absorbing the magic. And considering that Goku reviewed pretty much every chapter of the Alvarez arc back when the arc was going on in the manga, that is unacceptable. Even if he had a faulty memory of the events, he could have easily gone back and fact-checked his shit to prevent stuff like this from happening. Anyways, that is all I have to say, so I will bid you adieu. Oh yeah, the Keyblade guy's probably still recovering in the lake, isn't he? Oh well, at least I can feed off his wife who's love until then. Not like this shit has a continuity anyways.